Hello and welcome to another episode of 20,000 Leagues Under the Internet. I'm your captain this week, Harlan Spinks, joined with me, as not always, just Jon.
It's just Jon.
Just Jon. Jon, say hi.
Hi. Dad's not here, so let's fucking party.
I think we made that same joke when me and Kyle did
we have
an
to
episode.
do it every single time. Whoever's not here
is Dad.
Dad's out. So let's fucking go, man.
If you're wondering where Kyle is, he's dead. No, he's
unfortunate.
He
gone too soon.
Gone too soon, but never forgotten. He is preparing for his wedding that we are all about to go to in a couple of days. So he's doing big boy grown-up stuff, and
Massive
we're doing
stress.
Yes, and we are doing goofy silly boy stuff.
Yes.
I think he wishes that he was here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the goofy silly boy stuff is definitely a stress reliever.
Yes, especially for the big Kyle. But in his honor, I thought it would be fun to read something since he sent this to us earlier today. And it also kind of goes in line with what the rest of the episode is going to be. So let me open WhatsApp. Unless, do you have it in front of you?
I don't have it in front of me, so please go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why WhatsApp is being crazy on my computer, but he sent us, we used to do in the old show, we used to find Craigslist ads that were just bonkers. Yeah. And he sent us a Craigslist ad that he found that looks like it's from the year 1999.
Year of our Lord.
And it is a Craigslist ad that says, Kyle will fuck shit up for you, Philly. And all it is an image of the Monster Energy logo. And it says, my name's Kyle and I fuck shit up professionally. So your ex getting married? I'll crash that ship. Shit. Your job fire before their company picnic? I'll show up with tequila and throw hands. Got someone you hate and just want to fuck their day up? I'm all over that shit. Serving all situations where we customize your service to your liking. Email me for pricing. Services guaranteed with video.
Hell yeah.
So I think that either he just saw that and thought it was funny.
Yeah, I think that was what it was.
Or it was some sort of weird preamble to this weekend.
Yeah, so he's letting us know that he is going to fuck shit up at his own wedding.
At his own wedding. He is Kyle. I'm here to fuck up my own shit.
The good thing about Kyle is that he has a fantastic sense of humor about being a Kyle. He knows the memes. He loves them. We send them to him all the time.
Yes, and the punching the hole in the drywall.
The Monster Energy drinks. The backwards hats.
The Pit Viper glasses.
Be it Pit Viper, be it white sunglasses. He's all about it.
Yes,
he loves it.
It's really great to have a friend who has that sense of humor, whose name is also Kyle.
Yeah.
But let's get into the catch of the week. Jon, you said you had a catch of the week for us.
In keeping with this theme of Kyle's wedding, I found something that I'm actually going to send to you just so you can have a look at it.
We're both going to be sending each other stuff.
Oh, the image went away, but I'll get it for you in a second. A maid of honor wore a T-Rex costume to her sister's wedding because she said, you can wear whatever you want.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I mean,
you gotta love a jokester. This episode really is on theme in terms of the wedding season.
It really is. Good old New York Post reporting on this one. Maid of honor wears T-Rex costume after being told she could wear, quote, anything. The bridal party turned into a Tyrannosaurus wreck.
Nice. Yeah, fucking incredible. There will be a big air horn there.
Yeah, Nebraska maid of honor showed up to her sister's wedding dressed as a dinosaur after the bridal party was given free reign over what they wanted to wear for the nuptials. And she said, when you're in the maid of honor and you're told you can wear anything, I chose and I regret nothing.
I mean, you can't really say no to the maid of honor, though. Like, they are the maid of honor. You kind of have to let them do their thing. A maid of honor is gonna maid of honor.
A maid of honor is gonna maid of honor. You gotta let them go. And I mean, like, you know, we've been invited to many a wedding this summer, Harlan. We're in and out of them. Some are more rigid than others. You know,
Yes.
we'll see I'm going to one that's on a fucking naval base.
Well, that's cool. Is anybody gonna like show up with like a cannon or anything? Like,
I don't know. I wasn't briefed on that. I'm sure I will.
Or maybe
be,
just straight up a pirate.
You
should go as a pirate.
I think leaning into the nautical theme would be great.
Yeah.
But there was a little tag on the invite that was like, "Hey guys, seriously, don't do drugs here." Because it's a fucking federal crime. So like, it's gonna be a really fun and easygoing wedding. I'm super excited about it. But
I will say, looking at the photo that you sent, that if you're watching the video, you can see, and I'm zooming in on many things that I find that are sort of standing out to me right now. One is, well, first of all, I guess, was the bride and groom, were they upset at all, or did it say?
The bride said that she was okay with it because she did give them free reign. So she's like, "That's my sister.
Okay.
Like, can't fault her for doing her thing."
Because I see a couple of other things where like everybody else probably was like, "Yeah, I mean, I want to be comfortable, but I don't want to like totally look like an asshole."
Yeah,
and
like
I see lots
Chucks.
I see a lot of people wearing Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor's the big thing, which honestly like is like kind of a hip wedding thing. Like, I'm gonna wear Chucks with my wedding dress or my new Vans or my new Jordans and my like wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Get up kind of thing. So
it does seem like a pretty cash wedding in the backyard where they have the like ceremony happening under what looks like the children's play set as well.
I will say that like so I have not been in one of these inflatable dinosaur suits, so I cannot say for sure, but I do think that they operate like the sumo suits and they have a little fan going in them.
There's a fan.
So
just in the background.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to the desert for Kyle's wedding, and like I'm thinking like this could be a good thing. And honestly, by the time he hears it, it'll be too fucking late.
It'll be too late. That is a good idea though, for anybody doing a desert wedding, is you should look into those, you know how in like movie sets where like, for like superhero movies, they have to wear the big muscle suits or crazy costumes.
Yeah.
They have underneath those suits that circulate water throughout the costume.
Like a still suit?
Yeah. Yeah, they get a still suit.
Fuck me. If I showed up to Kyle's wedding in a still suit, he would lose his absolute fucking mind.
He would fucking lose it. Sherm would lose her mind in a different way.
I might die at the hand of that sword, but
I mean, it's worth it for the bit, man. Do it for the fine.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's get into the main topic, which this week we are going to be talking about AI generated scripts. Yeah. So let's dive in. So, we've talked about AI stuff a lot in the past. We talked about the psychotic AI Norman. We've talked about.
I forgot about Norman.
What was that's the only one that I remember. After you talk about Norman, every other AI is child's play.
Well,
I feel like.
I mean, can you consider the Databots AI? Buddy.
Sorry, I gotta pop my LaCroix before we get into this.
There was the Never-Ending Metal that was computer generated, which I consider to be just top tier of our AI segments.
Yes, we love them. You love them. So I was trying to find something fun for us to do since Kyle's not here, and I came across, and I think I've maybe seen some of these. I know, John, before we started recording, you mentioned that you had seen one.
Yeah, they're great.
And so I was doing some research and I was looking into it, and before we get into the meat of this, I figure we should kind of, as we say, another one of our catchphrases is, let's get a baseline.
Gotta get a bass.
There's a lot of people who are developing this like AI text-driven technology, like this AI generated stuff. There's companies I have a couple examples: ScaleNut, Jasper, Deep Story.
I'm sorry, did you say ScaleNut?
ScaleNut.
I don't know how we could just blow past that one.
Honestly, I'm gonna take that and put it in my D&D notes for an NPC character.
Oh my god, yes.
ScaleNut.
You come around a bend and you find ScaleNut the goblin.
Hi, my name's ScaleNut. But there's also Script Book and Deep AI. There's dozens more that all do this, and they're all script generators. What we're going to be talking about today specifically is the I Forced a Bot series.
Yes.
So these are like a series of social media posts that were developed by a computer system that generates nonsensical versions of popular culture after ingesting roughly 1,000 hours of content from whatever sort of theme they're trying to get.
I love the idea of this because it really just seems like putting a funnel in a computer and just force feeding it garbage, because that's like really what we're doing here.
Well, and in more broad terms, the norm in AI is what that was. Yeah. This is at least has a little bit more direction.
Yeah, it's a focus.
Yeah, it's focused AI. Mm-hmm. But we have to kind of start where in December of 2017, there's another one of these like companies that works on AI called Botnik Studios, who got some viral attention for putting out a Harry Potter predictive text chapter that they made.
Oh, that's good.
And let's see. And Botnik Studios, I have a little bit of history, are a team of comedy writers created by Jamie Brew and former New Yorker cartoonist Bob Mankoff in 2016. Yeah.
So some highbrow comedy here.
Yes. I mean, they've got the New Yorker.
You know it's going to be smart and I'm not going to understand it.
Thank God they did Harry Potter and not something else. So with the help of a predictive text generator, they created parodies of popular culture by inputting words from that piece of pop culture into the generator. Writers then selected words from the keyboards to create surreal humor. So it's not exactly what you're probably thinking about in terms of like AI, just like giving it a bunch of stuff and then turning it on and it's spitting something out.
Yeah.
It's more of like when you do the predictive text on your phone.
Yeah.
If you
like
just keep hitting it, the autofill, it'll kind of try and guess what you want to say.
Yeah.
And I've seen people use that to like write songs.
Yes.
Like
I've also seen those TikToks.
There was a TikTok video going around. There's a big Midwest emo side of TikTok.
Yeah, I love that shit,
which is really
man.
fucking great. And so he was not improv, but he was playing the song in the Midwest emo style and just reading what his phone was predictively trying to.
You just hit the center button of the predictive text.
Honestly, it's a really good song, and I'll try and find it for the video.
Yeah, it's solid. I love that.
I'm so sorry. Going on a vacation trip, but I'll let me too, and you know that I'm not going on a vacation trip, but I'm not going on a vacation trip this week, and what are you guys doing it with me?
So this happens all the time, right? So this is basically what they're doing, but they're like professional comedians and writers that are kind of taking it and sorting through it and making it at least make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, a little zhuzh.
Yes. So, but before they did the Harry Potter one is what they got, like some virality from, like notice from. The first one that they had done was part of a Seinfeld script, which they posted in September of 2017.
Oh boy.
And I have this here, and I'm gonna send it to John. And John, I just assume that you can do a pretty decent Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I could try.
Let me just drop this in here.
Interior Comedy Club. What's the problem with the minimalism? You know, if you enjoy being around alcoholics, I'm gonna go ahead and never return that dog. Interior.
Cut 2.
Jerry's apartment, day. Jerry and Elaine are carrying leaves in their hands. He tries to grab a door. She imitates the door. Well, the elevator opened and wrong side of the door. I thought maybe the door's not waiting, but it said going down and Kramer couldn't help me move it. I just wanted to get out of it. Just get out. He slams his hand on the door. Kramer enters, dancing with the garbage.
Hey! Great idea for a big sponge, Make it so large you think it's got a fat clock in the middle.
Kramer, do you have fun flashbacks to do? Interior Monk's Cafe Day. George is wearing a $20 hat. It says, "Hello to horse."
I'm kind of like the captain of hygiene.
Mind the fish, George. Elaine, say something to George. Look for anything wrong with him.
There's no way I was going to try and do a George Costanza impression.
Yeah, that was tough. My Jerry kind of got off the rails there. I don't know what it turned into, but
yeah. The thing that really stands out to me in this script is the Jerry takes off his bones before he talks to Kramer. So that's the first script that this Botnick Studios did that was going around. I also have the Harry Potter one, which we will get to in just a second. But they also, after the Seinfeld one, they did a Scrubs parody. They also did Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Arrested Development.
Fantastic.
So they were going around making the rounds, and then the one that they got some notoriety for is the Harry Potter one. And I'm just gonna read this one. We're not gonna try and do that because it's literally they printed it out into a book.
Oh my God.
That looks like a Harry Potter book. And on December 12th, they tweeted a fake chapter of Harry Potter written by their AI.
I just have to call out the title of the book.
Yeah, it's really great. The tweet of the chapter from a fake book titled Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash gained over 33,000 retweets and 70,000 likes. It went around on Daily Dot, Twitter Moments, I don't know what that is, Bustle, and Refinery 29. So I'm going to read an excerpt.
You don't remember Moments? Moments was Twitter's version of Stories that they tried and promptly killed off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now they've got Twitter Blue or whatever, where you have to pay to like a monthly fee or some shit. Anyway.
Yeah, because Elon's all about making that cash.
This was before Elon, but yeah, he's basically leaning into that. Anyway, I'm going to read an excerpt from Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash for all of you.
Really quickly, this is chapter 13, The Handsome One.
The handsome one. So, Death Eaters are on top of the castle, Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be spiders. He just was.
Yep.
He wasn't proud of that, but it was going to be hard to not have spiders all over his body after all is said and done. Look, said Hermione. Obviously, there are loads of Death Eaters in the castle. Let's listen in on their meetings. The three complete friends zapped. By the way, I have only read a little bit from this. I stopped, so I don't know what's coming either. The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door of the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with searing pain.
Yeah.
I think it's closed, he noticed. Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby robed ghost. They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was and asking it to be replaced with a small orb.
Sure. It's a normal request.
Hey, orb, can you be a door?
Could you just be
other way around?
Hey, door, could you be an orb real quick?
The password was beef women, Hermione cried. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quietly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad.
Yeah, they were
look good. I think it's okay if you like me, said one Death Eater. He sounds a little flirty.
Oh, hello.
Thank you very much, replied the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek.
Wow.
There is much, much more.
Yeah.
I can't read. I will read more of this later.
Yeah, now I want the whole book. I want the whole...
Apparently Voldemort shows up very quickly after this. I see him on the next page.
Oh, I think he might be the handsome one.
Oh.
We'll find out. We'll read it later. We'll read it before bed.
Yeah. So that went around, And then January 23rd, 2018, Botnik Studios produced a fake Coachella poster. I know I saw this, but I didn't realize it was like the same people.
Yeah.
The poster went viral as many found the name's humorous.
Yes, I would say so.
Yes.
Honestly, and these could either be fake or actual bands that I'm not aware of. Like,
yeah,
the Coachella lineup
real.
is so deeply. I feel like I'm not an old man, but like feel so out of touch when I read a fucking lineup. And like any of these bands that are on this list, Hoop of Gom.
Yes,
That
Hoop of Gom,
that could be real.
Lab Raid,
Horse Choir.
I mean, the top acts are great. Jacked Like a Man and Giraffix.
Yes. I feel
Ben
like
Sex.
Giraffix could be a band.
Yes. I mean, it's incredible how good some of these names are for bands. We've got Horse Choir.
Yeah.
Beth Factory. Smushy Twin. Lil Hack.
Lil Hack is good, yeah.
Mild by Boys is very good to me.
Don't sleep on Mild by Boys. They come out and they play their hits every single time.
I am straight up surprised there is not a band called Beach Feel, with how many beach themed bands already exist. We've got
damn,
Paper
they got
Cop.
Skin Clump on this lineup.
I know you're looking at like the smaller ones. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going for the big names.
Look,
the
you can't sleep on the smaller
fun.
bands, man. You can't.
Honestly, though, you have to stay through Sunday for the very last band, Glove. Great, dude. They play right after Chesty Squitters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, this one around, I remember this. I feel like they've done a couple of these. But, so they've done some fun stuff. And then around the same time, because these were going around, getting a lot of attention, February 21st, 2018, comedian and writer Keaton Patti tweeted his first I Forced a Bot to Watch series, which was I forced a bot to watch 1,000 episodes of Jerry Springer and then asked it to write an episode of its own. Here is the first page. Now, John, do you want to read this one or should I?
I can.
The Jerry Springer one?
I can read the Jerry Springer one.
All right, I'll be the audience then.
Great. Interior, Jerry Springer's brain. Jerry Springer sits atop a trash throne aflame.
Already off to such a good start.
Such a good start. I'm hooked if I'm homesick watching this. Today on the show, we have a big person.
Jerry.
His parents are fed up with his bigness.
Seinfeld.
So we sent him to a prison boot camp to scare him a little.
Kramer.
Welcome to the stage, his parents.
No soup for you. No soup for you.
Tumbleweed. Another tumbleweed fight. Tumbleweed. Pulls hair.
Oh, that's the chair.
Oh, the chair chimes in and says, "Hey, don't pick me up." Tumbleweed doesn't listen.
Listen to the chair.
We'll be right back after this commercial for coffee you can't drink.
I love because it painted incredible.
Oh, just
Thank you very
amazing.
much. I love that it painted like the picture in my head of just a horrific dystopian like after Earth situation where like for some reason Jerry Springer's still around and they're still filming TV
and
shows.
He's Lord of the Land.
Yes, and so all of the audience members are just like horrifying like demon people.
Yeah, but also confused as to which Jerry they're watching.
Yeah, or who to even root for, because first is Jerry, then it's Seinfeld, then it's Kramer, then it's Chair.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't root for the Chair?
I mean, and then they're reciting the soup Nazi line, so
yeah,
I'm confused.
They got off course quick, really.
Yeah, they really did. So several weeks after that, Patty posted another version of his bot, and he wrote, "I forced a bot to watch 1,000 hours of Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and then asked it to write a movie of its own."
Oh my goodness gracious! Who do you want in this one?
Oh man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do a Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
I'll do Poseidon, I guess.
Poseidon is an odd choice for this one.
It really is. So the other thing too, before we get into these, is that these are screenshots that Keaton Patti has taken, and so they're kind of cut off.
Yeah, some of them are difficult.
This one, I'm not even sure we should even attempt to read this, except maybe point out a couple of things. Like,
okay, yeah.
Poseidon's eyes are beach balls.
Jack Sparrow also notes that the water is gone.
The water's all gone.
It's gone. And he drinks a bottle of Bacardi rum.
Branded rum.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that, that's product placement. That's just Hollywood getting its own.
Yes. Not sure where the AI picked up Bacardi rum, but maybe rum, Bacardi. Anyway, Poseidon also says, I have a mission.
Smash Mouth is fucking in this. The end of it is, it's all cut off, but it says, somebody once told me the world was going to row, and that's all you get.
I didn't even notice that until now. I think it maybe got confused with Shrek.
Yeah, probably.
Poseidon also has a message as well here at the top that says, I have a mission for you at the end of the ocean. The woman from Atonement shows up.
Yeah.
Time for some atonement.
Well, yeah, that's just when you get stuck in a character, you have to, try and work
She
your
was
way out of
method
getting
that day.
typecasting,
Yes. So 2 days later, he posted another one. I forced a bot to watch 1,000 hours of the Saw movies, and then asked it to write a Saw movie of its own. Here's the first page. And again, it's kind of cut off.
Yeah.
But there are characters named Sexy Doll, Becky Sex Woman. The Sex Doll says at one point, I hid the key to this hole inside your pancreas. Good thing I'm a pancreas doctor. But since I know you're a pancreas doctor, I took it out of your pancreas and put it in one of your kidneys, the cool one. Becky says, oh, fuck, I don't know kidneys.
Yeah, I don't know kidneys either. I also don't know which one's the cool one. How do you know? How can you tell? Does one of them smoke cigarettes?
I'm not sure. That is a good question. I mean, the sex doll from the Saw movies knows because he's been in there and he's been sort of maybe it wears those pit vipers we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, or blue blockers probably.
Or blue blockers, yeah.
That's cool.
So over the next couple of months, Patti continued to post bot-generated content. His most popular version was I forced a bot to watch over 1,000 hours of Olive Garden commercials.
Yes.
And
I did almost bring this to the pod the other day, but I'm so glad that it's here.
So I'm interested in this because I know you used to work at an Olive Garden, or was that Kyle? You both did.
Kyle got me the job at Olive Garden. I was down on my luck as a college student, and he had already secured a position with the family, and so I was really hoping to get brought into that fold.
The Godfather.
Yeah, I mean when you're there, you're family. So I in my interview I did say
you asked this of me on the day where I have unlimited pasta. Unlimited breadsticks and pasta.
So this one, again, it's kind of cut off, but there are a couple of items in here. And John, I was wondering if maybe you could confirm or deny the, their authenticity.
Oh, 100%. Do you want? How do you want to go through this?
Well, let's just start at the top. The waitress seemingly brings pasta nachos for one of the guests.
Yes, she says pasta nachos for you.
Yes. Are pasta nachos an available item on the Olive Garden menu?
I mean, if you really boil down what pasta is, it's just a base of something with other things on it.
Right.
So
it's like the tofu of of Italian food.
Really, you can consider pasta nachos in any kind of capacity. Ragu, pasta nachos with meat sauce. That's just like ground beef and rice and beans on your chips there.
Exactly.
You get a pesto that's leaves and pine nuts all crushed up.
Basil and yeah, exactly.
So I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Okay, but what about now? Did Olive Garden have something called lasagna wings with extra Italy?
I can confirm they did have that. Yes, that was one of the most popular ones, and I worked there right when the calorie counts came out, and the lasagna wings with extra Italy was by far the most calorie count. It was up there in the 3,000 to 4,000 calories.
Right. For anyone wondering what the extra Italy part is, they bring out the lasagna wings in a tiny little Pope mobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what makes it extra Italy.
It's really expensive because you have to pay for the bulletproof glass. Go on.
Now, I'm curious too. It says here, friend number 2 says, I shall eat Italian citizens. Was there ever any instances of cannibalism taking place among the family?
I didn't bear witness to it.
Okay.
But I was only there for a short time, so I mean,
got it, right.
There was a big side room that had those private parties. I didn't get to work those that much, so
that's where all the Italian citizens were being eaten.
Yeah.
Now there's also one other thing here called unlimited stick.
That I can 100% confirm. 100% confirm unlimited stick. And
that's different than unlimited breadsticks.
Yeah, people came in asking for the unlimited stick, and like, I think it was a special event at one point, and then they just kind of like kept doing it. So.
I'm imagining it's a giant breadstick that is just continuously being shoved through an oven and cooked as the dough is being formed on the other end.
And people are just like, eating it as it comes.
Yeah,
so
like the pizza
hole.
Ovens. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a special window that you go for the unlimited stick.
I mean, the waitress does go on to say it is infinite.
It is infinite.
So those are some of the things from the Olive Garden commercial that his bot wrote. Now we're just getting into like what he's pumping these out day after day. This one is, I forced a bot to watch 1,000 hours of Transformers movies.
Which also, like, how can you do? It, like, you just, like,
exactly.
Start it and stop it. Like, Michael Bay hasn't done that many Transformers
There's
movies,
also, though, you have to think, well, it fucking feels like it. But there's also the Transformers cartoon, which is the same voice actor.
If we're talking OG, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's what he means.
Yes, Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. But again, it's a little cut off, so there's just a few things that we can parse from this. There is a character named Guy with Hair.
Mm-hmm, yeah. That was one of my favorite Transformers.
I love that Transformer. He turns into hair.
He does.
Like how Megatron turns into a gun.
Yes.
He's just a wig.
He is in fact, a very classy mullet.
That or a merkin. Ooh. So Guy with Hair locks the gate to the junkyard. And then Guy with Hair says, "Good night, junk. I have to go to my daughter's birthday party." The guy doesn't have a daughter. And then he falls off a cliff at some point.
Yep.
I do think it's funny that some of the characters are just year and model of cars that exist.
So the next line is, you see a 1996 Toyota Camry parked next to a 2003 Sentra. We think they're normal cars, but we are wrong. They're Transformers.
1996 Camry. The human has left.
2003 Elantra. Yes, we can transform into our true identities.
1998 Camry. I think the year changed. This is a different Camry. I have transformed. Your turn.
2000 Elantra.
Next line.
Transforms into a DVD of Pixar's Cars.
DVD of Cars 2. I have transformed.
Now we must wait for Optimus Prime.
Oh my
they
God.
wait 3 years and an Uber drives up to the junkyard.
Yeah, it is I, Optimus Prime. I must transform. Apparently, he's
the
so
98
down on
Camry was Optimus Prime. Oh,
no. Weird. Man, it's really hard to keep track of what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently, Optimus Prime is so down on his luck that he is now Uber, all of Uber. I'm not sure.
And all of Lyft is Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
So,
well, the Lyft says now let's Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's a verb, like
maybe,
a thing
that's
you
like
do.
A sick fucking dance move.
I think what maybe they're talking about is they turn into their human transformer body, their humanoid shape. And then they recreate that Shia LaBeouf.
They just do that.
Just do it! And that's what they mean, maybe.
They just like Hulk out with their hands like that.
So there's another one. I believe this is an actual full page from Keaton Patti, where he did the same thing for X-Men. And it's quite long. We don't have to read it, but I'm gonna read a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it says, Interior X Mansion, private school for the weird. The X-Men and X-Women gather around their manager.
It's inclusive.
Professor X.
Yeah.
They all have powers. Professor X's power is wheelchair.
Nice.
Professor X says, we are not normal. We are mutants. Normal to us is mutants. So we are normal. This was your first class.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Tied it up there nicely a little bit. The X-Peoples throw away school books. One is a Wolverine. His power is hard bones and sharp hands made of adamantium. Do you want to do Wolverine?
Why do we school? Fighting is faster. Wolverines do not learn.
Professor X, I read minds. You read nothing. We each have a usefulness. Storm is friends with a cloud. Useful. Storm is the weather's boss. She points at Wolverine and he is attacked by painful humidity. He screams like a Wolverine. Professor X continued, enough, climate. We are not enemies. We are a team of friendly freaks.
Cyclops says, my eyes hurt, people.
Why is he?
I don't know. I wanted him to be kind of doopy.
I really like it. I mean, these are like, I imagine these characters, these versions as like, you know, Bizarro from the DC comics, where he's Superman, but he's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
That's these versions. These are the Bizarro versions.
These are the
and
clunky
Cyclops,
ones.
Yes, they haven't worked all the kinks out. Cyclops is an extra from, what was that? Deliverance.
There you go.
I got there. It took
My
me a
eyes
second.
hurt, people.
Cyclops removes glasses. His eyes are holding guns. I'm sorry. That's how it ends, though. Oh, my God. So that's the X-Men one. He does, later on, he says he forced his bot to watch 1,000 hours of Fox News segments. And you've got Interior News Sewer. The news anchor, Guy Whiteman, says Obama just Sandy hooked Benghazi again.
Yep.
There's a picture of Jeb Bush eating his own heart. The picture dies. 9/11 is a character in this that shouts, lock her up.
Yeah.
So Whiteman says, up next, Samantha Bee admits she's a ghost of Osama bin Laden and that there's nothing wrong with that. But first, is Amazon gay? We think so and don't need proof.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is just straight ripped from Tucker Carlson's show. It's probably airing tonight, so.
It's not far from the actual Fox News.
God.
He keeps making these. He says he forced a bot to watch all 236 episodes of Friends. I couldn't find any scripts from that except a screenshot of what I assume are like icons of the scripts that he posted. And then what day was this? I don't have the dates for these ones. I think it's around the same time. It's still 2018. So he posted this Friends one, and somebody replied to the Twitter, his tweet. User Janelle C. Shane tweeted that the post's plot twists are most likely fake. She wrote, quote, these I forced a bot to watch X posts are almost certainly 100% human written with no bot involved. Here's how you can tell. She goes on to say, first of all, neural nets learn by example. If you show it 1,000 hours of video, assuming 120,000 unique 30-second Olive Garden commercials exist.
Yeah, right.
You'll get video out, not a script with stage directions. Notice that the script has the same main characters and scenarios the entire way through. An actual neural net's story will tend to meander dreamlike because it forgets what it was doing. Neural nets also have trouble constructing complex sentences unless its data contains lots of examples of that particular type.
Huh.
So this was kind of debunked. I know I led you into this thinking this was all going to be real. They're still funny, but it is a little bit of a bummer, a little bit of a letdown.
I'm a little sad.
I fucking tricked you. So I looked up a little bit about how these work because again, there are certain AI that can do this, but they all basically need human intervention, right?
Sure,
To keep it in line and make it make sense to a person.
In a sense, this is that 1,000 monkeys in a room can write Shakespeare kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, we've turned the monkeys writing Shakespeare into code. They're much smaller now and live in your computer.
Yes, and pump out nonsense.
Yeah, so neural networks trained on writing struggle in other ways. They typically meander in their outputs and have trouble with even things like grammar. They still require human direction that require a human behind the scenes to select the funniest parts of the output. So that's why I wanted to talk about the botnik thing, because that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They are feeding stuff into a bot, and then they're sort of, like I said, going through it and putting it together and making it make sense. Whereas this Keaton Patti guy, he is a comedian and a comedy writer.
Yeah, so he just duped us. He just gave us a long con.
And he said something somewhere. Oh, here it is. Post that looked dubious. He told Gizmodo, "I just want to say that I'm really happy people are enjoying the bot's work and to look out for more in the future." Mm-hmm. So he stood by it as a joke again. And I think I read somewhere where he was talking about I thought it would be funny to put these out because they were getting a lot of popularity. Like other actual, tech people were doing these and actually making them work. And I was like, I don't know, this is what I think is funny. It's almost kind of funnier in the context of it being written by a bot, being so outlandish. Cyclops has guns for eyes now.
Yeah, I mean, you have basically free license to just do the most ridiculous, outlandish shit. And
exactly.
Just be like, well, a bot wrote it, so.
Yeah, really stretch your comedy legs. Mm-hmm. It is an interesting practice, I think, in that sense, for somebody who is a comic.
Yeah.
And you're bored. You're what would a bot say? What's the most outlandish shit? So even after people were like, these are not real, he leaned into it still, and he posted a couple other follow-up jokes. And one of these tweets is, "I forced a bot to let over 1,000 jokes go over its head on Twitter and then asked it to write a comment on this tweet. Here is the comment." And the comment, quote unquote, is from another user replying to Keaton saying, "The script is great, but I highly doubt that a bot actually did write that. The overall structure is way too coherent even for state-of-the-art neural networks. There are also things in there that don't appear in any Saw movie like Trump or Whale."
Got him. Just fucking got him.
He tweeted another thing kind of in the same vein where it says, "I forced a bot to read over 1,000 tweets claiming to be scripts written by bots online, then asked it to write a script itself. It wrote these 2 pages, then hung itself." Oh my God.
So I was bummed and now I'm back on board. I think it's fucking hilarious.
It is fucking great because it's like one of those things where people on the internet love to point out things or have that armchair analysis of well, actually,
right? Yeah.
And those people are just as insufferable as people who lie, right? And so if your intentions are just well, I'm a comedian, and if you guys didn't get the joke, then it's not my job to correct you. It's my job to make more fun of you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so after all this happened in 2018, he actually put all of these together and put out a book of all of these scripts, and it's called, I think it's called "I Forced a Bot," or what is it called? I don't have the title of it here, unfortunately. But the sort of tag for the book is, "Humorist Keaton Patti forced a bot, quote unquote, to digest massive amounts of human media to produce these absurdly funny, quote unquote, totally real bot-generated scripts, essays, advertisements, and more." And then there's a short description that says, "Ever wonder what an AI bot might come up with? If tasked with creative writing, from Olive Garden commercials to White House press briefings to Game of Thrones scripts, writer and comedian Keaton Patti's bot, quote unquote, recognizes and heightens the tropes of whatever it's reproducing to hilarious effect. Each quote unquote bot generated piece can be enjoyed as surrealist commentary on the media we consume every day or simply as silly robot jokes. Either way, you'll probably end up laughing. So I think that's a pretty good summary of this entire like viral moment that happened on Twitter.
It's awesome. I like am super on board with it. I think it's great, and like it's actually I respect it more that it's been written by a person because it is so like off the wall and like random that I feel like it's so much easier to write in a linear fashion, to have like, you know, beginning, middle, and end, and trying to like go to something through a scene, and to just have it like hard left, hard right, like up the wall, like new character.
Jerry Springer is on a trash can throne. Fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the new stream of consciousness almost.
Yeah.
You know?
And but doing it as a like screenplay is even more like, if like calling out like, you know, set direction and all of that stuff. It's just like fantastic. Good job. Good on you.
Yeah. I really do like the evolution of this whole entire story, because initially when I was doing the research, I was like, oh, this will be a fun thing. Me and John will just read these back and forth. Yeah. And that'll be it. And then slowly getting deeper into it, I was like, oh.
We've been played. Hello.
It's also funny to see how many people were like offended that he lied to people. That's the part I think is the most funny. Yeah. And I imagine Keaton Patti sitting in his chair in front of his computer just like, ha 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 ha, I've pulled one over on all of them. Yeah. And that fills my cold dead heart with warmth, you know?
But also, like, all of these people that are offended, like, shame on you for not even researching who this person is. Like, you can just get online and be like, I have a robot that I made and I'm going to make it do this, whatever. And then like in your bio, it's like, I'm a comic. It's like, you definitely don't have a robot.
I told you what I do from the get-go. How did you miss this?
Yeah. It was right there.
So that was quote unquote AI scripts. And that's it for this episode. Nice. Thank you for watching and listening. I forgot to do this at the top. Please smash that like and subscribe and ring the bell and go follow us on 20K Leagues Pod pretty much, in fact, everywhere. Yeah. So we appreciate that.
Leave a comment. Tell us how good we look.
Exactly. I think Kyle might be back next week if you tuned out because he's not here. We know who your favorite is, and that's great. But
yeah, when we see a massive drop in our numbers, we'll understand why.
Oh, shit, we can't ever do this again.
Yeah, well, I guess we're not the talent.
No, not it. So, but good luck out there, everybody.
Bye.
And we'll see you next week.
And everyone wanted to know which president was the true throat goat. And
okay, I do remember this.
And they are all some sort of eldritch monsters of yore, right? She was also selling videos of her farting in the jar.
I hate this so much. I hate everything about this.
Yeah.
Secure to starboard.